Hi, welcome to Robyn's Roost. Today we're going to make a double pocket card that a fellow demonstrator, Kathy Peck, showed me how to make. This is a really cute card, and I turned it into a gift for a person who likes to read. So the original card just had the two pockets, and you could put a gift card in one or a little moolah, and then the other pocket holds a little note. You put your John Henry on there with the happy birthday. And I turned it into a bookmark card. I love to read. I think I probably said that about 4 times. And I'm always losing my bookmarks, so I like bookmarks. So let's flip the camera and get started learning how to make this fun and easy card. So let's start with a card base. Now it's just one piece, and it's going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and this is pale papaya cardstock. And then we're also going to need a piece of the pale papaya in color designer series paper. Now this paper it has 4 patterns, so each piece has a different pattern on either side, and it is in the 5 in colors. And we're going to be using the pale papaya for this, and this is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And then for our pockets, we're going to need for our little note card. This is going to be a piece of Very Vanilla, and it is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And then we're going to need another little piece of the designer series paper for our little top strip, and that one is going to be 3/4 by 3 1/4, and you can use that from your little strip that you cut off from your other piece. And then we also need 2 little strips to highlight across the edge of our diagonal cuts, and those are going to be 1/4 inch by like 5 inches. You're going to cut those, so you're going to trim them after you put them on. And then for our little bookmark, we need a piece of the Very Vanilla, 1 1/2 inches by 4 inches. And then another piece of the, or I guess we haven't had any of this yet. This is the Pansy Petals Designer Series paper. And this one is going to be to decorate the bookmark. And it is going to be 1 1/4 by 3 inches, and that'll sit right onto there. And then also from the Pansy Petals Designer Series paper, you're going to want to cut 1 large pansy and 1 small one. Now if you have the die set, you can just cut them out with the dies, the Pansy dies. If you don't, you can certainly take a scissors and snip around them. And I like to kind of cut my paper into strips, and then I'll cut them out with my die cutter is what I do. And you're also going to have to either die cut or take your scissors and cut a couple of leaves out of the Pansy Petals Designer Series paper. And that sheet is a whole sheet of leaves, so you can get tons and tons of them out of there. Now, you're going to have to cut this piece of designer series paper at an angle, and to do that you're going to measure down 1 inch from the top left. Pencil is probably better, but I had a pen here. And then you're going to go 1 inch up from the bottom right. You're going to make little marks, and then you'll take your trimmer and you'll put the marks on the cutting line. I'm supposed to have my hand right in the way, so you put it here, and then let's see if I can get it all onto here, and then put the other one here, and then I moved it, and then you'll just go ahead and cut at that angle. And then you can either take on your on your scoreboard, or if you have a trimmer that has a scoring blade on it as well. I like to use my scoreboard most of the time just so that I don't mix up the cutting blade with the trimmer. And then we're going to go at a 1/2 inch and we're going to score everything except the angled cut side. So all the way around. Okay, so we're going to do that on one piece. Now that we have these cut and scored, we're going to first put our highlighter strip, which is our cinnamon cider strip in this case, on here. And let's just take a little bit of liquid glue. And you want to be really careful with the liquid glue. You don't want too much because you don't want it gooping all over. And then we're just going to put this on. And line it up, the tip with the tip on this side. And then we're going to cut off those corners so that they don't hang over. We'll let that sit for just a minute. Now this one, you're going to have these edges folded under. So it's going to be a little smaller. We'll do this one right away too. And let's just go ahead and snip off that end. It'll make it a little bit easier here. Get it out of the way. Okay. And then we're just going to trim off these ends. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing on this one. Of course, you can let the glue dry a little easier on your scissors. Okay, so now that we have that ready, we can bring in our base piece, and we're going to put our tear and tape around the edges except for the angle cut one, because that's where it's going to form our pocket, where our pocket is going to be open. We don't want to tape that shut. And you just want to put the tear and tape right along the edge so that you have the biggest pocket possible. And then we'll space this, like I said earlier, so that all the sides are kind of the same distance around. And that's our first pocket. Now for this piece, because you're folding this bottom, and you have all this extra where the corners are going to go together, it's easier if you just take and snip off the corners. Just snip a little bit away from there. Just kind of makes the corner fit easier. So these are going to be taped on this side, and we're going to put it right on top of the first pocket in the corner. So it's a little bit different. The bottom one we had taped on the back side. This is actually going to tape on the design that's going to be on the front side. To fold all those kind of up and line it up on the edge of your first pocket. And that's going to give us our 2 pockets. Now for our little greeting that's going to slip in here. So all we have to do on this piece is attach our strip that's going across the top, and just a little bit of tape runner will do that. And then we're going to stamp our birthday greeting. So the birthday greeting that I'm using is from the Pansy Patch, and it is such a pretty font. I love the font on this set. It's a mixture of cursive and printed. And then to coordinate with our strips, we're going to use the cinnamon cider, and we're just going to put that happy birthday up in the corner. Now if you wanted to gift this card to someone with a perhaps a gift card to somewhere, you could tuck that in there, you know, and it would stick up just a little bit here. But I like to read books, and I enjoy bookmarks, so that's why I made this with the bookmark. Now there's a couple different ways you can do the top of the bookmark. If you have a corner rounder, you could use that to round your corners, and then a hole punch to do the hole. If you have a circle punch, you can tuck it in and just round the corners that way, center it, and punch off the corners. If you have one of the tag toppers, and I believe there are 2 in the catalog currently, but this is an older one, you could go ahead, and the tag topper actually punches the hole at the same time that it punches the design on the top edge of the tag. So several different ways that you can make your tag. And then we're just going to layer our little piece of the Pansy Patch paper on here. And we're going to center this equal distance on the sides and the bottom. The top is kind of going to get covered by our pansy. Now when we put our pansy on here, we're going to pop it up with dimensionals so that it will hang over the edge of your book like a little paper clip. So we're going to want to put our little leaves, and we've got our 2 little leaves here. And you can put these, you know, they kind of confuse me as to which direction. I'm thinking that's the stem end. It's like they're both kind of going, maybe like that. So then I'm just going to flip them over, and I'm going to put my dimensionals on here to hold them on. You could also put them on with some liquid glue. Okay, and then I want it to kind of go right up to where my little what do you call it, the little hole is. See, and that's going to just sit right in here and hook on my my edge of my pocket. And then for the we have a little hole there, so we have to put a ribbon in, and this is some Pale Papaya open weave ribbon. I've also done them where I've put tassels on them, which is really cool too. But I don't have any twine that is Pale Papaya, and I wanted to kind of stick with that. Although a green ribbon might look really nice on here too. So now you can either tie it that way, or you could make a loop and then pull it through itself. I'm just going to tie it like this. So it just adds a little bit of bling to it. And this is going to go in here like that. And then this one, we're going to be really, really careful because we don't want to seal off this pocket in case we wanted to put something wider here. But we're going to put this flower right down here, and we're also going to put this one on with dimensionals. So we don't want any dimensionals like right here where my finger is. That's kind of my reminder. And I'm probably just going to put 2 on here. Let's see, because I don't want it up here either. We could not, we're just going to put 2 just to be safe. Okay. Put that right there. And there is our double pocket card. So hope you enjoyed this. It's fairly easy to make. Doesn't require a lot of tools. I mean, you can use the dies if you have them, but if not, just use the paper and cut them with the scissors. It works, you know, the old-fashioned way. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'm sure that whoever you give the card to will enjoy it too. If you like this and you don't currently have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you wanted to purchase these supplies, I would love to have you hop on over to my store and purchase the supplies there and help me meet my goals. Thanks for stopping, and have a great day.